let's revisit the neck here. I've done work to extend this and down on the other end. We've installed the tuners. 5, it's like a skull and crossbones there. This is a regular banjo tuner. That'll be for the G. These things are heavy. I'm going to replace them eventually with Wilkinson type open, older style tuners. But I'll probably fire it up like this. Now the other end. I've had to add these pads, these extensions here and here. We're going to touch that up. That'll get 2 coats. Make it just like from the factory. All like that. Disappear. I'll finish it up. Touch up. Touche up. Touche up. A lot of this. Don't need much. That's about it. Probably got out of camera range for part of it, but there's some there. All right. We'll do that a few more times. It's been about 15 minutes. Coat number 2 will probably do. And I'll be able to work with this after supper. I feel so inclined. I might have missed some of that, I don't know. But we got it on there. Let it dry for a few hours now. So I've added a pad for the rim rod, the lower rim rod. I've just extended this one. So now I've leveled it, sand it, stain it. like that. I've done a number of things. I've re-drilled the existing original hole for the peg and also for the tailpiece. It's right in the middle. And then I laid a straight edge across here and determined with measurements where that projection was. And I've dropped perpendicular aircraft drill through the original center. I've marked the distance down. This is for our preliminary mounting hole. There. We're through. Step one. We'll do another couple of things here. We'll end up. There's the hole. This is a temporary, preliminary mounting hole to see how things stack up. I will take a drywall screw, run it through there, and make sure everything is hip, cool, and groovy. You can hear my heater. It's a good one. It's a mini split. Lets me work out here. Looks pretty nice, don't it? Anyway, we've put the neck on with one screw. And it's not going to be either of the rim rods. This screw here, I estimated where to drill the hole and drilled through, held the neck. And anyway, it lets me deal with the alignment of the neck, and that's a lot by it's firmly attached to the body, and it's oriented relative to where these pads have ended up. And I will check it for the height that I want. It looks very good. I'd say that's almost perfect. And it's centered. If I go right down the middle, do I end up right in the middle? And is it, so there's like, this is Y, this is X, and there's another one, theta, which is making sure this neck is parallel to the top, this way, not tilted. And it's looking good that way. It's looking good this way, but we're not aimed quite right this way. So I take the screw out, sand some off of these pads on the neck, put it back together, tighten the screw, see how close I am. And when I get it where I want it, keep the screw tight, and then drill aligned holes for the rim rods. This one screw that I put in here turns it into a reasonable process. If you're trying to estimate and align everything before it's ever attached, it's real hard to do. So this gives me some control. So it's sketched in. Tuners are on. This white stuff is foam. It's just sitting on there right now. This angle would need to come up a little more. We don't want that. We're using a slightly lower bridge. It's a very low bridge. I'm going to leave the neck angle where it is. It's significant. And again, there's a single screw holding this. We're just making sure everything is where we want it before we drill the final mounting holes for the rim rods. It looks primitive, but I've marked center lines, and there's a mark right here that I've put in, and it lines up with the hole on the end also, so we're calling it good. So we're back to this aircraft drill. I've set this for a certain amount, 300, and I've scribed a vertical line, and I scribed this with, they're little, and the same back here. Now I know that this first rim rod is low. That gives it more authority, and it's parallel to the body, because I made that happen. I've got the neck angle where I want it, and I want this parallel to go in here. It'll be at an angle in here first. I'll do that back here too. I used to use an electric drill. We'll see how this goes. So I have a pointer now. Anyway, I've decided to use this hole for the lower, or the other rim rod. So we got a rim rod here and a rim rod here. There's the hole for that one. This hole was the original hole drilled in for the stick, the neck stick. So I can now undo this. We're going to tap 1/4-20s in here. You'll see how that works. My rim rods are based on 1/4-20 all thread, and these special. So yeah, these are union or coupling nuts, 1/4-20 coupling nuts, and we'll use them back here. So we've measured this is a 1/4-20 tap. I've measured the minor diameter. I tap drilled it approximately. I've really lowered the voltage on this so we could easily do this. That's very deep. Do that again. Come on. Good enough for us. Quarter 20. We will proceed. So, the neck is held on with these 1/4-20 nuts. They're back here. That's a separate system. The neck is held to the body with these 1/4-20 nuts. And the bolts are epoxied in. They haven't been epoxied in yet. We take these. I haven't trimmed them to length completely yet. Will they line up? Yes, they line up. So these will be basically tightened until they become one piece. The bottom one, the first one I put in, which will be the top one. Anyway, let's see if this one lines up. That's why I used the aircraft drills when I started. There's still some elevation and windage that has to happen. But we're, looks like we're good here. Yep. I should check alignment one more time. But when everything looks good, I'll epoxy these threaded short pieces into the neck, let them dry overnight, and then reassemble it. And during reassembly, there will be 1/4-20 nuts on both sides, both of these rods, which will allow to pull to tighten or push to loosen to give us control. It's sketched in. Haven't done this yet. Viola. So there's, as I say, it's just sketched in. Zero. I still have to cut that off. And the tailpiece is a little high. Whatever. Yeah. We'll look at the rim rods. Wimwads. The two studs I had coming out of the neck have washers and hex nuts on them. And they hold the neck on the body. These are an extension of the neck when these are tight, and they have a minimal effect on the angle of the neck. So these are in place. There's a washer and a nut, washer and a nut. On the outside is a washer and a nut, and a washer and a nut. So I can pull or push. This would normally is going to be pulling. So we can do a little of that right now. Yep, just enough. You can do this with the strings on and have an effect on the action. It's not the primary means, but rim rods. So I've got it strung up and laid into the resonator, and it's real nice. Now I have to mount this thing to the resonator or the resonator to this thing. So I put it together and I'm playing it. We'll do a short go around, but I'm going to turn the camera. Don't get dizzy. Like that. Be right back. It sounds great. Plays great. Looks pretty good. I guess take it for a spin. I know it's sideways in the image you're looking at because I've rotated the camera. We'll do a couple of things like this. And there we go. We'll spin this thing around to a little better view. It's nice and shiny. The flange. So, anyway, this is going to be my personal banjo. It has a few small deficiencies, but it plays and sounds great. I have another banjo for sale shortly.